Hey guys, I'm Steph, and welcome to my beauty stash. Welcome back, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Before we begin, make sure you click on that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you're notified every time I have a new video upload. So I have something that I cannot wait to share with you guys, and that is my new little mini series entitled 7 Foundations in 7 Days. I will be reviewing the latest foundations, both high-end and affordable, giving you guys 12-hour wear tests and rating each foundation at the end of the day. Now, before we begin, let me tell you guys a little bit about my skin and my major concerns. I'm 37 years old. I have normal to oily skin. My most oily places on my face are, of course, my T-zone, especially my nose. My main concern right now are my fine lines and large visible pores, so I am always looking for a new product that's going to help blur and fade those pores away and make those fine lines look invisible. All of the foundations that I will be trying for you these next 7 days all have a different finish, and they all have a different amount of coverage. To give you guys a good shade match for my skin, in the Fenty Pro Filter Foundation, I am in shade 140. And in the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation, I am in the shade 420. All of the other products that I will be using on my face are products that I know work extremely well for me. And these are the products that I will be using every single day that I try out one of these new foundations. For primer, I will always go in with the Cover FX Gripping Primer. For concealer, I will be using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and this is in the shade Light Sand. To set my T-zone and under eye area, I will be going in with the Too Faced Peach Perfect Setting Powder. And to set the perimeters of my face, I will be using the Too Faced Peach Blur Translucent Finishing Powder. For all of the foundation reviews, I will be using a damp makeup sponge. For setting spray, I'll be using the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And I will also be using the Urban Decay All Nighter once I have finished my entire face of makeup. During these wear tests, I will not be doing any kind of touch-ups to my skin. I want to see how the foundation performs with the products that I'm used to using on a daily basis and how it's going to wear on my normal to oily skin. I really hope you guys enjoy these next 7 days of 7 different foundations and 12-hour wear tests. As always, guys, please leave me your comments, your suggestions for any videos that you wish to see from me in the future. Now, let's get started with day 3. All right, so today we are going to be trying a new foundation from Makeup Revolution, and this is the Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Foundation. This foundation does contain hyaluronic acid, which is great for hydrating our skin. I picked up shade F7, and I don't think it is going to be the best shade match for my skin. If you all are unfamiliar with Makeup Revolution, they did put out a foundation last year, and this is it right here. This is the Conceal and Define Foundation. This is more of a matte foundation, but this one, as you can see, I'm in shade F6.5, and it's a little bit too light for me, so I decided, well, I'll go up a little bit, and I went to F7, and I think this is going to be way too dark for me, but that doesn't matter. We are going more for how the foundation performs. So let me give you some specifics on this new Makeup Revolution Hydrating Foundation. The Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Foundation has been specifically formulated formulated to suit every skin type and tone, but it's particularly beneficial for dry skin. It does contain hyaluronic acid, which says it's going to offer all day long radiance and a glow without settling into fine lines or clinging to dry patches. This foundation does offer a medium to full coverage. This does retail for $12. I picked it up at Ulta online, and you do get 0.7 fluid ounces. One thing that I was noticing when choosing a shade online is that there are a lot of shades that say with a pink undertone. I think I have more of a neutral to yellowish undertone. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to go with F7. F7 is described for medium skin tones with a neutral undertone. I am not a medium skin tone, but seeing as to how I was F6.5 in this and it was a little too light, I thought, you know, maybe the description online was a little inaccurate, but yeah, I don't think this is going to be a great shade for me, but I just want to see how the foundation is going to perform. The one thing that I will do different with this foundation, seeing as to how it is not going to be a good shade match for me, I am going to use the Catrice Prime and Fine Lightening Drops. These will not change the integrity of the foundation. They're merely going to be used to lighten the shade. One thing that I do want to point out about this new foundation from Makeup Revolution is that it comes in a pump form. Now, this is important because their other foundation, which is this one right here, this one is the Conceal and Define. This one comes with a large doe foot applicator. So before we begin, I'm going to prime my skin with, of course, the Cover FX Gripping Primer. Now let's shake this up. I'm going to start with 2 pumps. Now I'm going to apply 2 drops of the Catrice Prime and Fine Lightening Drops. Now I do think that looks really pretty on the skin. It does have a glow to it, and I think it went on really well. It looks pretty. It looks nice and smooth. Let me go ahead, and this is the side, well, minus the drops, but this is the side that doesn't, this is the side that has. Okay, so now that I have the foundation on, let's check it over. I think I can definitely see the glow. I can definitely see the luminosity of it. It went on very smooth on my skin. The shade isn't terrible since I added those drops. I kind of feel like it's amplifying my pores. It's making them more visible. But I don't know, that could just, maybe it just hasn't settled down yet. Let me add a little bit right here. Okay, so this is it. This is how it is laying on my skin. See, you can kind of see, I feel like my pores are more visible. I don't know. We'll see what it does once I powder it and all that stuff. Next thing I'm going to do is go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Now I'm going to set the concealer using the Too Faced Peach Perfect Setting Powder. To set the perimeters of my face, I'll be going in with the Too Faced Peach Blur Translucent Smoothing Finishing Powder. To set everything down, I will be going in with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. I think with the powder, the concealer, I think it's all setting very nicely on my skin, but I don't know why, I just feel like my pores are more accentuated with this foundation. I feel like I can see them a little bit more than I could with the other two foundations that I had just tried. But it still looks nice on the skin. Powdering it down did take the glowiness, the dewiness down a few notches, which for me and my normal to oily skin is fine. That's okay because it's going to come through a little bit later, so don't worry about that. But the skin still looks like it does have, you know, a little bit of a glow to it. It doesn't look like completely matte, which is great. It's not settling into any fine lines. I mean, I know we just put it on, but it paired nicely with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. It paired nicely with my Holy Grail Too Faced Peach Perfect Setting Powder. So far, we're doing good. So the time right now is 10:57. So we'll say it's 11 o'clock. And again, 12-hour wear test today. I will be doing periodic check-ins throughout the day so we can see how the new Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Foundation is working with my normal to oily skin. So I will check in with you guys in a little bit. So this is going to be my 3-hour check-in with the new Makeup Revolution Hydrate and Conceal Foundation. It is 2:10. So I've had this foundation on for just a little over 3 hours now, and I really like the way it looks. I think when I look at my skin, the word hydration really comes to mind because, and that's exactly what they want, what they want for our skin to be. They want it to be hydrated, and that's exactly how I feel my skin looks. I think it looks really pretty on my skin. The only place that I'm not liking it is right here in my smile lines. It did end up settling in there, so that is the only thing that I am not liking about this foundation, and of course the shade. So if I end up liking this foundation, I think I am going to have to return it for a different shade because I don't want to have to be adding those drops every time that I use this foundation. So I really want to get my correct shade if this ends up working out for me. But so far, it is looking really nice. I feel like my skin looks really pretty. My oils around my nose are just starting to come through. So we're going to see how this looks at the 6-hour mark. Again, I'm not touching up. I'm not blotting. I'm not doing anything to it. We're just leaving it as is for the next 12 hours. So I will be back with you guys in another 3 hours. And we'll see how this new Makeup Revolution foundation is going to hold up on my oily skin. See y'all in a bit. All right, I'm back. This is my 6-hour check-in with the new Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Foundation. It's been a little over 6 hours. It's about 5:15 right now. And I have to say that I am looking a little more dewy, a little more hydrated, I guess you can say. Right here on my nose, that's where my oils have started to come through. Even right here on my cheeks where I have my larger pores. A little bit here on my forehead, I've started to notice some more oil coming through. And it has just started to break up a little bit around my mouth area. It's still settling into my little fine lines that I have right here. But other than that, guys, everything else looks really good. I kind of like the way it looks right now. Like I just keep going back to the word hydrating. Like my skin looks like it's hydrated, and I know that's the purpose of the foundation. So I do like that. I mean, the oil that I have right now, it's not excessive. It's not where I would look at myself and say, oh my God, I need to blot. But it's there and I can see it, and I don't see it getting any better, unfortunately. So we're okay right now. I mean, for a hydrating foundation, I think it's doing a good job. So it could be a lot worse. So I will be back in another 3 hours to do my 9-hour check-in, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. Hey guys, so it is now 8:04. This is how the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate is looking after 9 hours of wear. I am really oily on my nose, but it is not really breaking up anywhere, especially here in my problem area. The only place that it's kind of wanting to break up is maybe just a little bit on my chin and around my mouth, but that's typically where around this time foundations start to break up. Now it has settled into my little smile lines, and it did that kind of early on. And I know one of the call outs of this foundation was that it is not supposed to settle into fine lines, but it's okay. I mean, it's just right here. It hasn't really done it anywhere else. My forehead is still looking a little bit dewy. My nose is the main thing. Like if I could blot anywhere, I would just want to blot my nose. But guys, overall for $12, this foundation is holding up pretty well. I'm impressed. I'm happy with it. Actually, I think I like this foundation more than their first foundation, which was the Conceal and Define, I think, foundation. It was the more matte one that I showed you guys earlier. So this foundation that's more beneficial to dry skin has been doing all right on my normal to oily skin. So I'm very happy about that. But it has 3 more hours to go. So I will be back around 11 o'clock, 11:15 to do my final check-in and give you my rating on the new Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Foundation. You all stay safe, whatever it is y'all are doing, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, so we are just shy of 11 o'clock. It's about 5 till 11, which means we have had this new Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Foundation on for the last 12 hours. Now, I will tell you this, and I don't think I need to tell you, I think you can see for yourself, but I am really oily on my nose, even a little bit right in here on my cheeks, and of course my forehead, my T-zone. My T-zone is oily. It needs to be blotted. It needs to be powdered. But I have to say, guys, for having normal to oily skin, and for this being meant specifically for drier skin types, I think it held up really well on my skin. It has not like completely broken apart. It hasn't rubbed off anywhere on my face. Like, I'm shocked, despite my nose being oily, the makeup hasn't run off. Like, it hasn't broken apart or anything. Like, it still looks pretty good. Even, you know, through here, it's not breaking apart. It's not caking. The only place where I will say that it got into my fine lines is right here on my smile lines, and it's starting to, you know, cake up around my mouth. But that's typical for foundations, especially around the mouth area, because we eat and we wipe, and, you know, we rest our chin on our hands. So there's a lot of activity going on here. So with that aside, this foundation held up really well, and for being $12, I think it did a really amazing job. So much so that I am gonna give this foundation a 4.5 star rating. I was back and forth. Do I want to give it 4 stars? Do I want to give it 4.5 stars? But then I took into account it's meant for dry skin, it's drugstore, it's $12, and it did such a great job on my normal to oily skin. I gave it that extra 0.5. I gave it a 4.5 star out of 5. I'm really happy with it. And you know what? I am going to keep the shade, even though it is a little bit darker than I would have liked.
but I am going to keep it, and what I'm going to try and do is mix it with the other Makeup Revolution that I have that is more of a matte finish. So I think I might have a really good combo in the making, and I will for sure keep you guys updated on that. But yeah, guys, don't be afraid to try this. If you are normal to oily like me, just make sure that you powder down once you apply it, and of course do your little touch-ups throughout the day here and there, and I think you're gonna find that this is gonna work out really well for you. And hyaluronic acid, guys, we can all benefit from that. That's what's gonna help keep our skin soft and smooth, hydrated, and just have that youthful glowing complexion that, hey, who doesn't want? So I am going to leave you here, guys, for the night. For me, it's nighttime. For you, I don't know where you're at, but of course, you know my saying. You guys have a great day or night, wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, drink your water, and I'll see you all tomorrow with another foundation review. Bye, guys.